over 106,000 tech employees who've been laid off in 2022. That's a good amount they're using as a tactic to lay off, okay? It's because of this, right? Tech CEOs, they were a bit naive. They made the dumb mistake of thinking that the pandemic boom was going to last forever. And now what's happening is these companies that went out there and did all these massive hiring, trying to just poach people, get the best talent and so forth, they're laying people off, and employees are facing and paying the price, okay? Employees are paying the price. You gotta think about it. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. But yet, we're in the middle of what people would describe to be a bloodbath at this point in time with all these tech companies laying a whole bunch of people off. Again, Facebook, Twitter, all are different companies in its own little right. But what you saw during the start of C19 in early 2020 was that these guys put things on pause. But when the world shut down for the most part, people start to dive into tech, they start to see their revenues surge. E-commerce went through the roof. Outsized revenue growth, right? And what do these companies do? They start to significantly increase their investments into people and ultimately thinking that that was going to be the new norm. And these are companies led by some very, very smart people, very, very smart people. However, they're a bit naive. They have overhired. Stripe's founder said they overhired. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg said they overhired. Twitter, they're just getting rid of people right now because they got a new CEO and they're not profitable. So all these tech executives who are very smart, they almost had a bit of naivety in their minds that, this would last forever. Now they're facing a whole bunch of cost saving pressures. So what are they doing now? They're starting to let people go.
What's up, Ladder Climbers? This is Antoine Wade. I wanted to interrupt this video to talk to you guys about Course Careers. Course Careers is the place that you guys need to go if you have a high interest into tech sales. They will help you gain the skills that you need so that you can enter the tech sales world to make a whole bunch of money. Tech sales salaries early on is about $60,000, guys. That's a good salary. And with OTEs, you can make anywhere from $85,000 to $90,000. If you have an interest in tech sales, check out Course Careers, link in the description. And don't forget to use Antoine50 so that you can get a $50 discount off of Course Careers. See you guys in tech sales.
Tightening the belt. You got a bit too fat, as one would say. They ate too much Thanksgiving dinner, too much Christmas dinner without watching the overall diet, right? And this is impacting a lot of people. I remember back almost a year ago, they talked about Zoom, and Zoom reported a growth way below the Wall Street expectations. You think about Zoom when C19 hit, the stock went through the roof. Why? Because everybody had to use it. Everybody was virtual. You had to use it to talk to people. I remember talking to my good group of friends because we had to stay in the house and we would just set up Zoom calls, 2 or 3 times a week. Zoom was offering its paid products for free to most people. So of course it went through the roof. Over the summer, one of my favorite games that my kids play, Roblox, they saw a whole bunch of users using the system as well too, using the application. Went through the roof. It all went through the roof. And then now that things are starting to open up a bit, and things have opened up, of course, the usage of Zoom went down. The usage of Roblox went down. Why? Because kids are outside now. They're back in the sporting events. They're back running around the neighborhood. They're back watching shows versus playing video games all day. So we know that things that go up always come down. And these CEOs did not predict this. And it was a bit naive on their half. Hindsight's 2020. Hindsight's 2020. But what I would say is this. Now the employees have to face and pay the price. Okay? Employees have to pay the price. So I want to talk to you guys about this. Okay? How to control your career in the climate that we're in right now. That's something that I want to discuss before I open the calls up for you guys to come in and give me your experience. What's going on? What are you hearing? What's going on in the, in your world? Are you impacted? If you are, share it. Share it. We want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you guys. So the question that a lot of people have been asking as of late, hey, Antoine, is it a good idea to switch jobs right now? And I gotta say, it's a bit more complicated in this economy now that, you're starting to see a whole bunch of news and articles about these tech layoffs, especially in tech. It's a bit more complicated, but I think overall, our economy is still strong. We still are at 3.7% unemployment, which is very low. There's still 2 jobs to every 1 employee that's out there, right? So when people ask me if they should, switch jobs, I would say that it's not the perfect time, because the perfect time was to do it in between 2020 and 2022, right? But it's not a bad time to do it. You just have to take more things into considerations. Things like pay, things like benefits, things like flexibility, things like your overall job satisfaction, right? If making more money is the main objective for you, then it might be worthwhile to make a career switch. Because here's the thing that they're talking about. People who stay at a job over the last few months, they only saw an annual increase of 5.9%. But people who have gone and got a new job have seen an annual raise of 8.5%. So we all know that job hopping typically pays more money. That's true. However, you can still get to the money inside the company that you're at. If you are a great employee, something that we always talk about on this channel, delivering results, have a good network, and you ask for more, you can get the increases. I mean, shit alone this year, I've been promoted twice. And I'm gonna tell you like this, the numbers internally was not a 5.8% or 8.5%. Let's just call it almost triple the 8.5% was the raise, okay? But you gotta think about this. Layoffs are sweeping the tech industry, but sectors like healthcare and education, those seem to be resilient. Now, I'm not gonna tell you to not look in healthcare or education. I'm just gonna tell you this, they aren't gonna pay as much as tech does. So my bet is still on tech. And if you want to make the career switch, consider it. But understand of what economy that we're in today and so forth. Now, what I would say is this. I've done the research. I like to talk about tech sales on this channel. And from my research, working with a client this week, there's over 100,000 sales jobs that exist out there. There's 3 to 1. If you guys are considering to enter in tech sales, it's still a field that's hiring like crazy. I just got a LinkedIn message from Mrs. Wren, who just went through Course Careers in 36 days and got a role as an account executive. Guys, if you want to get into tech, especially tech sales, consider Course Careers. Link in the description of this video. If you want to get into tech sales, look at Course Careers. Help you become an SDR, a sales development rep, where you can at least make $55,000 a year. Good partnership that we have with them. And I encourage many of you to consider that path if you want to get into tech sales. Another option, which I talked to a good brother of ours this week, he wants to get into sales engineering. I don't partner with a company in sales engineering, but what I am hearing is that Careers is a company that can help you with that. So consider it. There's tons of sales engineers jobs that are open right now, with solution consultant jobs that are open right now as well too. And tech is where you ultimately make the money, guys. Okay, and sales is where you make the big time dollars. Okay, so is it the right time for you to be making a career switch? I say this: it's up to you. Why are you making the switch? And you have to give it some more thought. If it's about money, yes. If it's about learning skills, consider it. If it's about flexibility and so forth, I don't know about the flexibility is going to be there anymore. You got companies like Twitter that are calling people back to the office. You got companies that are bringing people back to the office. And if you're not getting into the office, what happens?